Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. I have a nice little restoration of a German tool from back in the, I guess it was probably the 50s, 60s. Let's check it out. Okay, today's little restoration is this little multi-tool. It's made by Crown. You can see here, Crown, and it's made in Germany. What it was a little hammer, and in the back of the handle here, little wooden handle, it had some attachments, and the attachments that it would have are had a screwdriver, I guess a nail puller, an awl, and a screw starter. The screwdriver looks like it has some damage. You could see it's kind of twisted. Somebody probably torqued it on a. We'll have to address that. The hammer is mushroomed in the front. You could see it has some surface rusting on it on the sides, but not too bad. We'll address that. This thumb screw is what holds the attachments in, and when you unscrew the head here to put the attachments in, it's threaded in here, and you can see here it has a Drew, does it look like, or D-A-G-M, D-R-G-M, I don't know what that is, and we'll have to check that out. And you can see the condition here, a little bit of rusting. We'll have to work on the handle. So let's get started. Now the first thing we did was we scraped down the handle using a single edge razor blade. That is the quickest way I found to get off this old lacquer and whatnot. After that we went over with some fine sandpaper and made sure all the scratches were out and took off any residual finish that might have been on there. From there we went with a 4-0 or real fine steel wool, and we wiped down all the parts to get off any rust so we don't gunk up. After that we went to the belt sander and started addressing that mushroom head. You can see my belt sander needs to be bolted down. From there we cut off the tip of the screwdriver and filed it down. We went to the belt sander again and addressed the head and the sides, and after that we went polishing. It got so hot I had to dunk this every 20 seconds or so, but we finished polishing all the parts, and from there we can start with the handle. First we stained it with some gun stock, Minwax gun stock. After the stain we went with some shellacked everything, and then 2 coats of varnish after the shellac dried. Now one thing to remember is before I use anything, I use a small rag, and I put some thinner on the rag before I dip it into the whatever finish I'm using. So here we finished up with the finish. It looks good. Okay, we're calling this project finished. As you could see, we did the screwdriver. Came out really nice. The tip, we redid it so that reprofiled it, cut off that tip. What's nice about this particular, it's called a nesting hammer or a multi-tool, but what's nice about it is the way this is designed with this set screw is it really locks it in here. I mean, that's very sturdy. You could actually use this, unlike some tools that are wobbly. We polished everything out that we could. You could see that little cutout on the tool really locks in there, makes it hold much better. When we shellacked the handle, we put 1 coat of shellac and 2 coats of varnish. We also shellacked the threads because they tend to chip over the years, and that will strengthen it. And then we put some beeswax on it, and you can see these nest into here nicely into the handle. And when it came to the head, let's see here, put this back on. Now when it came to putting the head on, I looked it up on the internet. Remember these initials under here? D-R-G-M. Okay, that stands for, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, but that's what it stands for. It's German, and basically what it was is protected, patented, designed under the right government. It was a German patent sign, and this was Crown Cutlery, and so it was a German tool company that made it for a lot of different companies throughout the world. And when the hammer screws on, very solid. It's I polished it out, so it's going to take a lot of fingerprints now, but you can see the head, the mushrooming of the head that we got rid of. That came out real nice. And basically it's a nice little tool to obviously put in the drawer. You wouldn't use it. You probably use this maybe for some tacks or something like that, or something small. But these were novelty items years ago, and I just thought it would be a cool, little interesting item to restore, and it came out very nicely. The varnish really does a nice job. That's one thing you do see on all these hammers, is that they used a lacquer finish back then, and they always got chipped up and they looked bad, but the varnish will hold up much better. And that's it. I guess somewhere around the 50s, 60s, German crown cutlery nesting hammer. Okay, hope you enjoyed the restoration. Thanks very much for tuning in, and take care. Bye-bye.